Hi, lovers. Happy 2/22/2022 day. I'm not here to talk about that, but I wanted to mention it. If you wanted to look it up for numerology and spiritual meanings, it's kind of cool. But, anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the things that we mentioned, and I think I read it as a quote somewhere, was the more you love yourself, the more you're able to love others. And also, the more you love yourself, the more others are able to love you. So I wanted to read out of this book that I have, and I'm reading it, and I came on this section like, we talked about that in group. So I wanted to read it to you. So story time. Get your blankie and get comfortable. This is The Lovability by Robert Holden, if you're interested in buying it. And he's listing a bunch of things. And number 5 in the list of things, he's talking about the more you love yourself, the more you're able to love others. When you identify with the basic fear, I'm not lovable, it impairs your ability to love others. I'm going to say that one more time. When you identify with the basic fear, I'm not lovable, it impairs your ability to love others. So if you hold the belief that you are not lovable, that will impact how you love other people. It impacts your relationship to others. And worse still, it can cause you to hurt the people you love. Remember I said hurt people hurt people? This is one example. So for example, and he lists these things that I want to share with you. The less you love yourself, the more critical you become of others. The less you love yourself, the more you accuse others of not loving you. The less you love yourself, the harder you make it for people to love you. The less you love yourself, the more you try to control your relationships. The less you love yourself, the more you test other people's love for you. The less you love yourself, the more complaints you have about others. The less you love yourself, the more you fear committing to love. The less you love yourself, the more independent and defendant you get. The less you love yourself, the more you try to change others. And conversely, when you identify with the basic truth, I am lovable, when that becomes your core belief, you discover the gift of self-love. That is, the more you love yourself, the more you're able to love others. And the more lovable you feel, the more love you bring to every relationship, the less you feel like something is missing, the more receptive you are to being loved, the less you block the flow of love. And the better you are able to love others. And crucially, when a relationship is difficult, there's times in a relationship when things are tough. Like, for example, when your partner has an off day or when your child tells you they want a different mom or dad, your self-love helps you hold a space so that you don't react with defensiveness or attack. So I thought this is so profound and so complemented what we talked about in our last group. And I wanted to share that with you. As soon as I read it, I'm like, I gotta record and read this to class, to group. So what is he saying here? Basically, the more we love ourselves, the better not only it is for us, but for the people around us, right? It makes a huge difference in our world on a small to a grand scale, that the more we can love and accept ourselves, the more we do that for others. And the more we give others permission to love us that way, the way we do want and deserve to be loved. Okay? So homework, love yourself even more. That's our homework until we see each other again. Like, what does that look like as a practice? How can I practice self-love from moment to moment, from day to day, not just on this particular day when I schedule something on my calendar, but in the moments, and when it's tough, when it's chaotic, when it's hectic, when my to-do list is too big. How can I extend that loving hand inward to myself? Let's think on that. Until I see you again, my friends, I love you. I love myself. And let's all love with a capital L as a practice, as a way of being, as a way of living. See you next time.